Margaret placed the knife into Mary's hand, then she took Mary's fingers, and made a small motion on another finger. She hoped Mary would understand that this was the sign for knife. But Mary had lived in a silent and sightless world since birth. She could not understand Margaret's intention at all. She even became a little irritated, and tried to stop this pointless action. But Margaret did not give up. From time to time, she would place the knife into Mary's hand, repeating the same sign for knife over and over again. Although Mary trusted Margaret to some extent, repeating the same motion for so long often made Mary feel frustrated and agitated. After a long time with no results, the headmistress and the other nuns all felt sorry for Mary. Some even thought there was something wrong with her mind. Until one afternoon, Margaret once again placed the knife into Mary's hand, and repeated the motion she had done countless times before. Just as Margaret began to feel confused, Mary's fingers suddenly moved. She began to repeat the sign for knife on her own.
Ja. Ja. Messer. Das ist es, Messer.
Margaret excitedly shared the news with the headmistress. Mary had finally understood her intention. From that moment on, it was as if Mary was performing on her own. It became a celebration of language. Learning the first word was incredibly difficult, but once the first word was learned, everything else seemed almost miraculous. Under Margaret's careful guidance, Mary began to learn more and more, starting from simple nouns to more complex adjectives and sentences, including grammar and abstract concepts. Margaret hoped that within her lifetime, she would witness Mary accomplish all of this. Soon after, Margaret shared the news with Mary's parents. They were invited to visit their daughter. When they saw how much she had changed, they were amazed. Now Mary could spell her own name and communicate with her parents through signs. She told them she was learning spelling and grammar.
Sie sagt ihnen, dass sie glücklich ist. Und dass sie liebt.
As Margaret watched the family reunion, she could no longer hold on. She collapsed in the courtyard of the convent. Her lung disease had reached an incurable stage. The headmistress informed Margaret's brother and took her to the best hospital, but Mary did not know any of this. After saying goodbye to her parents, she returned to her room. She called out several times but got no response. Mary was clearly confused. She searched all over the convent, but could not find Margaret anywhere. The sense of security she had finally gained suddenly disappeared. Mary's emotions fell back to their lowest point. She stopped eating and stopped learning. She even refused to wash her face or comb her hair. She spent her days by the window feeling lost and unhappy. Helpless, the headmistress wrote another letter to Margaret. After reading the letter, Margaret decided to return to Mary. Her brother was very worried her condition would worsen, but he could not stop her. On the way back to the convent, Margaret felt happy because she was about to see Mary again. But the moment she opened the door, she froze. Mary seemed to have returned to her dark world. She was curled up by the bed, smelling her knife. Margaret quietly walked over to her.
Ich bin